Fans of the channel know that I don't review many stouts, but today we've got something special for you. This is a Choca Bloca. It's a milk chocolate stout, chewy caramel. Sounds delicious, but what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing a Choca Bloca. This is from the Brew Co. It is a chewy toffee and chocolate milk stout. Sounds absolutely delicious. It's just what I want. I fancy something a little bit sweet, chocolatey right now, and I thought, yep, let's get this one out of the back of the fridge, see what it's all about. So Brew Co. they're based up in Middlesbrough. This is a 7% beer. Special edition, it says. Let's crack it open and see what it's all about. So, I don't drink many stouts. The stouts I do drink very occasionally. I like to get a chocolate caramel sort of thing, but I always find that, even though you might get some of those flavours, there's always a compromise, and usually that compromise is in the mouthfeel, and that's why I prefer the nitro stouts, even though they don't usually have that flavour. So this isn't a nitro stout. It's a chocolate, it says it's like your favourite chocolate bar. So let's see what this one's all about. Really, for me, what it has to do, it has to get the mouth feel right for it to be a cracking beer. Certainly beer in the glass. You can see that, moving up there. We've got a 2-finger tan head, deep black as you like. Looks like a proper stout. Let's see what it smells like. Yeah, smells chocolatey. Not really picking up much in terms of caramel or toffee. Just smells very chocolatey and malty, like a stout usually does, Doesn't smell much different than the ones that we've had before, whether that be in the chocolate stout we had from Amundsen, I can't even pronounce the name, Amundsen, yeah, that one. Or even, the layer cake we had from Brewdog. Chocolatey, malty, as I said, it's all about the mouthfeel. If the mouthfeel works, then the beer will probably work. Cheers, everyone. Taste-wise, it's very, very nice. Very chocolatey. Milk chocolate, then you've got some dark malt flavours in there. I'm not getting the sort of the things I don't like about stouts, the sort of when you get it too oily, with a slight licorice sort of flavour. I'm not getting that. I'm getting very sweet chocolate, but it's not too sweet, to be honest. Let's go in again. When you first taste it, you are getting a lot of that. We're getting a little bit of the fizz and carbonation, which I think I don't want. I don't want in a stout. I don't want a Coca-Cola type of mouthfeel with a chocolatey flavour. To me, that just doesn't work. But it's not as fizzy as a lot of stouts that we've had. I mean, I'm at the Vocation Sweet Temptation. That had a really nice flavour to it. There's a lot of people raving about it. But for me, it was like a Coca-Cola in terms of its sort of, the carbonation was too big, I mean, I still think looking at this in a glass, it looks pretty good actually. A lot of stouts, they lose their head. I do like a little bit of the... It's not bad. It's chocolatey, it's malty. There's a sweet caramel sort of back end to it as well. I'm not getting loads of bitterness, there's a little bit of sort of that malty, those dark malt notes, which you're gonna get a little bit of bitterness from it, but it's not overly bitter. The sweetness just gets to the point where it gets, is that going to be too sweet? And then just sort of brings it back a little bit. Mouthfeel again. There is a creaminess about it. It's 7%. So sometimes a lot of the stouts that are not creamy and a little bit more carbonated are usually at the lower end of the ABV. The ones that are a little bit more like oily, tar-like consistency, they're more at the 10% plus the Imperial Stouts. This is somewhere in between. Still a little bit too carbonated for me. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels like I've tasted it, you know, if someone says there's a chocolate malt, put it in front of me and I've tasted that, I go, yeah, I've tasted that, you know, 10 times before. There's nothing that, for me, it needs to sort out the consistency. It needs to get that silky, creamy mouthful, and the carbonation needs to go. And that's why I just think there should be more. And I don't understand why there isn't more chocolate stouts that are nitro stouts, because I just think the body is better. It's more suited to that sort of beer. You know, if you want to drink a Guinness, you don't expect it to be really gassy. It just wants to slide down really smooth. And that's the problem with a lot of these modern stouts, as it were. You know, they have all this chocolate and caramel in the description, but they're ruined a little bit because they don't have the mouthfeel. I've tasted enough. It's not bad, but it's still not going to convert me to wanting to drink stouts more. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Play Brew Company's Choca Bloca Chewy Toffee and Chocolate Milk Stout. Yeah, I'm not getting that chewy toffiness really in this beer. 7%, yeah, it's not bad. Let's go through the scores. Aroma. Well, you know, with any sort of chocolatey stout like this, you know, you want that, you've got that aroma. You're getting that sweet milk chocolate sort of aroma. There's no denying it. It's not overpowering in terms of the stoutness of it. You know, the malts are there, but they're not overpowering. You don't get into that sort of licoricey sort of aroma. And you get a sweetness, which is obviously the toffee caramel element of it. It smells pretty good. I'm giving it a 12 though for aroma. Appearance. Well, I think it looks pretty good. It's jet black. The head is retained a little bit. When we first poured it, you know, I mean, looking at it there in the glass, it looks pretty good. I quite like that. I don't like the stouts that like look really sort of weedy and no head and it looks like a Coke, you know. It does still look like a stout. So I'm giving it 9 for appearance. That's quite a high score, 9 out of 10. Flavour-wise, well, like the aroma, it's chocolatey. There's a sweetness of the sort of caramel toffee bit. That's about it. You get the malts that you would expect from a stout. There's no real difference between those. You know, if you put another chocolate stout in front of me, it'd be difficult to really sort of show the difference between the two. It's nice and chocolatey and malty, as a good stout should be. No real bitterness. It doesn't go into licoricey. It doesn't get to that point where you're getting any sort of, the alcohol is at the 7%. It's probably just at the right level. You know, if it was too low, it'd be thin and weedy. If it was too high, you'd get to that licoricey, you'd get that sort of slight warmth from that burn from it, which I think can slightly sort of ruin the flavour. So not bad, 32 for flavour. Value for money, well, this is a £5 can of stout, 7%. It's not that much different than some of the stouts you can get in the supermarket. The Northern Monk one, which we experimented with Cadbury's Cream Egg, I thought that was quite good actually. That wasn't bad at all. But that was £3. So value for money wise, I'm giving this a 7. And then my overall experience, well, as stouts go, it's not bad. It's chocolatey, it's caramelly, it's malty. You only want one though, you know, you wouldn't want to keep drinking these all night. It's a nice, different beer for the end of the night. For me, this is probably going to be the last beer I drink tonight. And it's a nice little sort of, you know, nightcap, as it were, to the end of the night. But I'm giving it 12 for my overall experience, because I don't mind stouts, you know, I don't mind them at all, but, you know, I can't see them being a major feature in terms of the drinks that I drink, certainly on this channel or off the channel really, because I don't know, I'm still finding them a little bit very, very similar. And I still find, although this isn't, it's probably at the medium level in terms of carbonation, mouthfeel. It's got a creamy smoothness, but there's still that little bit of fizz in there. I want it more creamy and less carbonated. I want it nitroed. That's what I want. I want this beer nitroed. I think it would probably get a few more points. It gets 72. It's a total score. I think it was, if this was a nitro beer, had the flavours of it, and just consistency was a little bit more smoother and softer, it would probably make its way into the sort of high 70s. It wouldn't be a bad beer at all. For me, though, it's probably more about my personal opinion. If you like chocolate stouts and you like that sort of caramel flavour, you want something that's not too carbonated, but not too strong, not going to blow your head off. Something that's quite easy to drink. If you like the Vocation Sweet Temptation or the Layer Cake by Brewdog, then this is not a bad beer. You'd probably, if you see this one, give it a try if you like those. For me, I'm not going to drink stouts that are not for me, but I want to always try them. I always want to slip them in, every, one or so a month, just to see if we can get to that point where we find that ideal stout. And the ideal stout for me is, flavour-wise, that's not too bad, actually. Chocolatey, slight sweetness. But again, the mouthfeel's not quite what I want. But when I do get it, it'd be the perfect stout, and I probably would drink it all the time. So, hope you've enjoyed that review. 72, it's a low white snake beer. It's a slightly in slow and easy sort of beer, which is what I'm going to do here for the rest of the night. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy your evening, wherever you are in the world. And until the next one, keep on rocking.